就西藏是一个特别舒服的地方，是一个特别慢的地方。
这次来就是县城变化太大了。
更多的把西藏的这个一些新的文化给传播出去。
多元让这个世界更美好。
East Beijing Road in Lhasa is lined with shops. It's the busiest part of the city. Pema Tso is heading to a grocer's to buy gifts for people she met several years ago during a field research trip in Nachu.
饼干等着多了，饼干，叔叔是几等着，见过，啥呀有吧？等着哎，对哎，等着小家全部等着多哎。 손주 지체. 네, 게시도 해.
게시사.
네, 빙탕.
빙탕은 또.
시가르마요. 라, 요마르와. 다 치리노 좀는도 빙간 요시. 치리. 근데 나 했어.哎，这多少钱？你看这里，
加到你说，
你切须可真呢？你175的这里。
加他们这等等，今天就没来。
那是关于第7种的，给几去？给个他，给就的多了7种开始看嘞。 어, 제주. 마마 ngari 정요구다. 알아 또 XL 진나다 야다 둔스통아랑 제주. 네, 다섯 쪽에 돌로 건데 제주 가서리 다다 힘사다. 야로 공아 선수도다 공아. Gegyal, Gegyal. Đi, ta chim lên rồi.
Several years ago, Pema Tso, after completing her PhD in anthropology at Charles Sturt University in Australia, travelled to Nachu in the northern part of Tibet, an area with a large nomadic population. Here, her fieldwork focused on the social organisation and economic activities of the local herders. 4 years after completing her initial fieldwork, Pema Tso is taking the train back to Nachu. As the daughter of a nomad and with the intellectual insight of an anthropologist, she is fascinated by the grassland and the nomadic lifestyle.
当时我在挪威做那个硕士学位，这个研究生学位的时候，我当时有点迷茫，因为我说导师我要做什么方向的？我当时有点想做那个一妻多夫制，然后我导师说，一妻多夫制像 Nancy Levin 他做的那个已经是非常经典了，可能比较难以突破。然后我导师就问我，你的家乡是在哪？我说在那曲，是个牧区。他说，哎，那要不你就去回到你童年生长的那个地方。就这样，我就当时就决定来回到那曲做田野。哪些？强我的。
It takes 4 hours by train from Lhasa to Nachu, and it's a further 4-hour drive to Larry County. But Pema Tso is used to long journeys across the grassland.
前2天刚刚在那个山南森布日做调研，然后今天要真正去草原，去见嘎塔老师。其实我特别开心，我觉得前段时间稍微有点郁闷。今天在草原上，然后本来嘎塔老师我们今年有一个项目，就是要做一个游牧行，结果因为疫情耽误了，大概有半年多没见了。希望这次他的状态还是跟以前一样那么好。
Gata is a 60-year-old local herder who helped Pema Tso when she was conducting her initial fieldwork in the village. He introduced her to Tsojia Wangmo, whose home she first visited 8 years ago.
我当时都不知道那个，就是像牛，它们牧区有很多的分类，像今年的小牛，它们叫什么？第2年的小牛叫什么？然后通过牛的牙齿或者羊的牙齿来判断它们的年龄，类似这种知识我都没有，因为我是在城镇长大的。
他工作当部呢，没长马上的，弟弟往里多进去，也就拉手手。
弟弟在是有什么？ 되게 던지 통로 그 천달라 다제 다 메라스 메라스 소니다 되게 제착제 우리 다 니도 니질
맞아就是在当刚刚的长白年
다 니서 자단 공부시
니가把지로 라서 메토리다
쇼스 팀저 초마성 이제 태나타 책책 줍줍 키스텔인데
어디 저 잘했어요 미 무슨 도사 정강스 메데 한다죠 네 D'une saison du Kayunjan Zetsabun.
Larry County has a population of around 30,000. Economic and social development has transformed this small county, so much so that Pema Tso hardly recognises it as the place where she did her fieldwork.
这次来就是县城变化太大了，有好几个主干道。 然后我们住的宾馆，还有自来水，还有热水，这是我觉得最让我欣慰的。那个时候我第一次做田野的时候，水都是需要自己从井里面打，然后又是天气很冷，我是好几天都不会，很多周都不会洗衣服。我一般会带着馒头或者饼子，能在老乡家吃呢，我就在那儿吃；如果不行，我就 吃几口馒头，然后一般是从上午9点一直会工作到，有时候到10点，有时候一个人在晚上回来还是有点害怕，因为那时候野狗有点多。 那么这个畜牧文化里面呢，我觉得也是人类这个知识结构中很重要的一部分，尤其是这个藏区的这个牧民，他对这个山水的这种敬畏，就说对不会去过度的开发或者开采，敬畏大自然，可能是更多的为以后的这个子孙留下更多的山水吧。还有一点就是，我觉得因为咱们中国幅员辽阔嘛，然后农耕文化。畜牧文化也应该是非常丰富的一部分。如果有一天当牧区这套文化体系没有了，我觉得你说牛羊或者说畜产品这一类都工业化的话，只剩下工业化的东西，那没有文化的东西是有点空洞。
Gegyal Pema is a folk singer. Born to a nomadic family, he grew up surrounded by yaks and goats, and most importantly, by folk music. After finishing elementary school, he started performing in bars to earn a living. He also travels around Tibet, collecting folk music, in the hope that it will fire his imagination.
刚开始我们就是作为一个歌手，慢慢的有自己的一些作品或者这样的时候呢，就是感觉到自己有很多地方有不足的，很多就是最终就是唱不出真正自己想要表达的东西，就是一种文化修养也好，就是对民间文化的这种认度也好，这方面欠缺很多东西。
With time, he became aware of the sad reality that much of Tibet's traditional music was being lost. He feared that once it had disappeared, it would be gone forever. The best way of saving it, he thought, was to visit the region's folk musicians and document anything they revealed to him. It's a 3-hour drive from Lhasa to Chusan County in Lhoka Prefecture, where Gegyal Pema is visiting a Tibetan opera artist.
Hola, Tashi dele. Tashi 消失的已经基本上都差不多消失了，但是呢，就是还有一些就是稀少的一些这样的可以传承的东西还在。那么呢，我觉得这个重要的意义在于就是，希望这样的一种收集的这样的过程和这样的东西，能给就是像我这样的这个年代的一些年轻人，给他一些启发，就是让他们就是知道，其实藏族也有很多非常好的音乐。
The opera singer is a master of a special technique. In regions like Lhasa, Lhoka Prefecture, and Shigatse, it's a popular tradition to sing the story painted on a tanka.
"因为现在的就是一种趋势吧，大家都喜欢尝试新的东西。那么呢，就是在不断的在尝试新的东西的时候呢，大家不断的在失去自己原本拥有的东西。那么呢，就是在这样一种层面呢，我们觉得就是我自己觉得就是，反而我们往后看，就是往我们自己本身原有的东西，是我觉得就非常有价值。
Anh mình ngâm mê rừng shu sha tê la chu nu mà ba la. Càng cái bé rồi chú rồi ba la.
La số tu. Thì mà cho nên là yung đôi khán giả càng cái chim bay. Thì你做别个做进入样，thì做càng cái从了，thì được chú rồi, thì là yếm chỉ sẽ cái nào, thì là trong tiếp xúc cái gì, thì ra lại cái mong muốn sẽ lấy vào. Thì này là thì này tan đại na, thì là mà mình đi show là chỉ mà yana thì, bây giờ là thì show là chỉ sao thì sẽ trở ở那啥，thì này蛮重要的。这些老艺人以他们的这样的一种阐述方式，就是说我们已经年龄大了， 然后我们现在就这种状态去给很多人说啊怎么样，我说传承这个是多么重要，然后让他去学习那样的话，他已经到了一种年龄，他没办法走了。第二个就是他也到了一种现在一个年龄，他也没有很多平台去讲这些东西。
In a market dominated by pop music, where promotion is done on the internet, traditional music faces a battle to be heard and survive. This is especially true for the Lama Mani school of Tibetan opera.
那是真的跟那个的Lama Mani学了热听着看着有那种什么了，听着去说。
我这热哎。
啊，热的，就
俺那热见都是人，俺这到这心不得俺，不过的春节当中落坡。的落的他们的种子那不啥不啦，生几的你就要的。我懂也不这个新着钱那啊啥不。但俺没人们学校的，俺这那我那真的干的那，俺这落就真正的他们做过钱的。俺这的他们干些些就有，对面他们的俺拿了2岁就买了吧没？俺学个他们学个多路学个多的去，俺我们呀，明个嘛个没见不了的吧？我等着落到过去是落过去，俺学个啊那啦俺去吃了钱，等着给个不？我都是俺这干些些就有，但别这是落来不吧？
真的，当按说检索懂了吧？逐渐荣耀的你懂的感觉的强度上呢，给人家得上了30的位。
同志也不是差下身边，我们俺不是就别的拉不吧没？但俺没感受了，但俺娘不拉说的嘛，娘公不见，俺也不是差用多啊没？
那是。
我们人们学校同志俺也拉说这的。那是。俺这的钱俺也不是多。
那。
俺这3路钱呢？
对。
俺也不是差项目呢。
家给说给拉玛些我若怕伊拉真就我若怕伊拉真就。
With his chanting over for the day, Tashi Tsering can enjoy a cup of sweet tea. He also has time to play some music. 70 years ago, when he was 10 years old, Tashi Tsering was selected from among tens of thousands of aspiring children to join the music and dance troupe at the Patala Palace. Coming from a wealthy family, he had until that point enjoyed a carefree and happy childhood. Joining the music and dance troupe would transform his life. From now on, his development would be focused almost entirely on the intensive training required to become a professional performer of the traditional Gar dance. Gar is a form of Tibetan court music and dance performance, held on only the most special occasions.
삼로 디가레스는 김장 삼는 애잖아. 가동데 균이요 말이. 가레스는 가르바디 롭좀 제외가 쉽부지고 도담보. 아니 저기 깔래가고 빼차샤나 가르로 좀 제외가네야. 밀랑 균이요 말이. 빼좀 잠지 쉽지. 쇼가 쇼도 그랬으려고 그래. 쇼도 쉽었으려고 그래. 나야 돼 아니 라야 라헬레제 딘데제 말 베게 네 대백은 지나고 네 대백은 비니 기겐게 남치 땅땅땅땅땅 동거리 코지도 자작세 야라제 베게 알링에 동거 졸리티제 반디제 미게 조숨제제 반디 우리 반디 삼 당니 무슨 빌레서다 람사 그반 졸리고 사르골 토스 수이제 미디 니스탐비어리 미 반디도 굽드데 되는데 사르골 주고 세우리 The
Patala music and dance troupe was formed in the 17th century, at the time of the 5th Dalai Lama. As the only official music and dance troupe in Tibet, it conducted regular rounds of recruitment. Boys aged 10, some 20 of them at a time, would be invited to join. The training was extremely demanding, but whoever was chosen for the troupe would bring great honour on himself and his family. In 1959, the troupe was disbanded, but he retained his passion for singing and dancing and continued to practice. Then, in 1987, he came to prominence as part of a Gar revival.
가라서 몸에 진대 슈샤 딜레베 제레야 나의 계급 좀봐. 가그 계급 좀 봐세. 해세 장례 종좀 봐세. 해세 뜻에디 종좀 봐세. 간제니 균좀 카숨블레게 지유스.
At the Tibet Autonomous Region People's Art Hall, performers in traditional dress are replicating the ancient singing and dancing art of Langma and Dwexie. Nima Tsangchu, the leading performer, is a former student of Tashi Tsering. The two met when she was a child, and he visited her home along with other folk artists.
家里经常老艺人，还有那个南梅基督的那些人，经常在我们家聚，还有些工作原因，经常到我们家来谈谈南梅对西啊这样。所以呢，我5、6岁就接触南梅对西，因为他们经常聚的时候唱啊跳啊，我呢从小喜欢跳啊唱啊，所以受他们的影响，我经常在他们后面慢慢的学南梅对西。
Tibet is often described as a sea of songs and dances. Of the numerous traditional performing arts associated with the region, Nima Tsangchu would discover that Langma and Dwexie is one of the most intoxicating.
That 那时候呢，那些艺人们好像不重视小孩啊，我还是赖着，有时候在那帮他们倒倒水啊、倒倒茶啊，这样子，跟着他们学的。那时候我们的扎西自任老师也在，包括在他们一起的，所以扎西自任老师是我的就是已经是启蒙老师，从开头。 后来扎西自任老师知道我喜欢音乐，他也慢慢的，好像重视我了。
사르데 양호스 겸비수 아니 사르 등답 줘봐 고디 송갸제 킹그봐 디네 체제갸제 안디네 안주 겸비수야 돼 도난나 아창매님도 겸비주숑다 이외지 지니 솜시.
With Tibet's traditional culture enjoying a renaissance, Langma and Dwexie is thriving. It has been recognized as part of the nation's intangible cultural heritage, and its popularity has spread across China and even overseas. In 2007, after retiring from her job as a primary school Chinese teacher, Nima Tsangchu joined a group of Langma and Dwexie masters. She believes she has a responsibility to pass the art on.
师对我呢要求很高，他看着我长大，他说你不光是学会跳会，也必须得接我的班，必须当传承，然后这些能呢必须以后我来替他把那个他未完成的任务全部要完成。
Working tirelessly every day, Pema Tso has trained more than 10,000 Langma and Dui Xie enthusiasts. Thanks to her devotion, the future of this uniquely Tibetan art form seems assured.